Shalom and welcome to 2 Minutes of Torah. This year is entitled A Summary of the Early Morning Shiur. Amanot HaMa'or. Baruch Hashem, we've been learning a Sanhedrin at the 5:30 a.m. Shiur. Abba Mitot Beitin, and last sugya going from Mem Tet Amid Bet to Nun Amid Aleph. Some incredible ideas that the Gemara is discussing. What's considered to be the most severe of the death penalties in Beitin? Skila, Sreifa, Herga, V'chenek, 4 different ways of execution in Beitin, and the Gemara doesn't have a clear proof from the punishments themselves. Therefore, the Gemara says, well, let's look and see what the crimes are. And we'll see what's the most severe crime. And whatever the most severe crime is, then that indicate whatever the punishment is for that crime, that's the most severe. So the Gemara starts off in the Chachamim's position. The most severe must be skila stoning, because Megadev, someone who goes ahead and goes against God, head-to-head rebellion against God, he gets skila. You're not going to get worse than that. The Gemara responds, Rav Shimon says, no, that a bat Kohen, a daughter of a Kohen who goes ahead and after she's either engaged or married, the Gemara discusses that, she is with another man, that's the most severe. She receives sreifa for that, and therefore proves that sreifa, death through burning, is the most severe, which is unbelievable that going ahead and doing this horrible act, it's a terrible deed, but that's considered worse than Megadev, going directly against God, cursing out God. Amazing. But that's what the Gemara says. And why? Because she's mechalelet ataviyah. There's a mitzvah to go ahead and give kavod to the Kohen, give him the first aliyah. He will bench first, he'll do the zimun, he'll take first in the meal. We give him tremendous kavod. When you have a bat Kohen, the pasuk in Emor says, right after the pasuk of giving him honor, the next pasuk is that when she goes ahead and is mizana, involved in znus, adultery, she mechalelet, she profanes him, she brings him down. So then the Gemara answers back and defends the Rabbanan's position that skila is more severe. So there's a lot to look into here. Just a couple of gems from the commentaries. First of all, what is the kavod, the honor that we give to the Kohanim? So the Torah Tumim says this honor, we're giving him first. Kidashto, that's a mido, that's a doraita. According to the Rambam in the Sefer Mitzvah, that Rambam, that's a biblical mitzvah to give the kavod to the Kohen. It's not just an asmachta, it is a doraita biblical law. That's number one. Then the Gemara in Gittin says, what is it that we do? So it goes to the list of all the things we do to honor him, giving him first, giving him the kavod, and we give him the first aliyah. The Rambam Mishpeish Mishnah says something incredible. He says Klal Yisrael has made a tremendous mistake in this area regarding kavod to the kahuna. He says they totally misunderstood the Gemara Gittin. When the Gemara Gittin says to give kavod, respect to Kohen, we give him the first aliyah, that means there's an equal playing field. When there's a nice Kohen, a nice Levi, a nice Israel in the room, you pick out the Kohen first. Let's say you have a Gadol, a Talmid Chacham, Yisrael, and a Kohen who's not learned, doesn't spend his time learning. So he says, of course you give to the Talmid Chacham. The kavod we give to the Kohen is when it's an equal playing field. You're not going to go ahead and give the kavod to a Kohen who does not spend any time learning, and you give the kavod over a Talmid Chacham, a Gadol, posek in the community? No way. And he says it's hafle or pella. What a mistake Klal Yisrael has made. So that's a fascinating point. But Lamais, we don't like this Rambam. And the kavod that we give to the Kohen is absolute. We always give him the first aliyah. The Gemara also says Darkei Shalom. It's going to avoid machlokas, and we certainly understand how that avoids arguments. Imagine each time the Gabba is going to have to pick out if there's someone in the room who's a greater Talmid Chacham than this Kohen or not. Oh, you can see the problems. But that was the Rambam's position. Be that as it may, there's a mitzvah to give kavod, and this daughter has destroyed that. And to the point that Rav Shimon says, that's it. And it says horrible things, that you don't have the mitzvah to give kavod anymore. Now the Mordechai says you're still allowed to, you just don't have to. The Mishnah Brewer says in Kuf Chav Ches, Mishnah Brewer Kuf Nun Dalid, he says that the minhag really is not to go ahead and do this to the father anymore. There are different reasons why. Some want to say that wasn't a chiyuv to do it to the father, you're just allowed to, not given the kavod. And other reasons are given as well. So the bottom line is, Lamaisa, when the child does something, we don't necessarily punish the father. And even when the Gemara in the simple pshat and the base indicates that we say, Aror, cursed be such a father, so someone is saying, it doesn't mean you actually makalel. The Rambam in Hilchos Sanhedrin in Chavav says it's an issur for the Torah to curse someone out. So now you go ahead, you could curse this father out. And therefore it just means this father, if he neglected his duties as a father, deserves to be aror, but not that we're actually cursing him. So when you read the simple Gemara over here, it seems very harsh how we treat the father, and especially when you read it together with Nun Bet Amud Aleph. It's grueling. You read the commentaries, the Mordechai and the Mishnah Berurah and other poskim, now Shulchan, it's not as harsh, But either way, this Bat Kohen, according to the Pasuk, did something terrible. It's degrading to the father, and therefore some want to say that's the worst Aveirah, worse than going in and cursing out God. The Ran says, come on, it's a terrible thing that she did, but the worst Aveirah? So the Ran says a few possibilities. Kibbud av va'em, honoring a parent, is compared to honoring God. So there is a certain equal playing field there. And he says something else. This Avera that you did has an unbelievable price. You did an Avera that totally brings down another person. And not any person, your father. So yes, maybe some of the poskim have softened it a little bit. You don't have to bring him down. You don't have to degrade him. You don't really curse him, but it's as if he's cursed. Still, even if they eased it a little bit, the poskim over the generations and made it not as harif as it seems, you did something horrible to another person. Because of your act, you lowered his status. Yes, and that's considered to be an unbelievably grave violation, Ron says, and maybe even the worst. In the end, the Gemara has a rebuttal and says, no, skila is considered more stringent. It's true. But at this point in the Gemara, the Ron is trying to make sense of it, which is an amazing idea. An amazing idea to think of, that the idea that to grade and you do an avera that brings another person down, takes away his whole standing in the community, that might consider to be the worst avera. And therefore that might indicate that tzrei for burning is even more severe than skila. It's certainly a point to ponder. So just in summary of the sugya, the Gemara is discussing in these few lines, Mem Tet Amud Bet going to Nun Amud Aleph, the different executions, which is more severe, and is skila, is sreifa, and they indicate from the sin, the crime, that's how they indicate what is the more severe punishment. And we do conclude skila is the most severe one, because the person is going head to head against God, but it is amazing to think how the Gemara considered other possibilities and to see how the Gemara worked it through. Shalom.